Where's the camera anyway? Oh, there it is. Hey everybody, it's Deadlinux, and I want to give you a quick update because I just walked out of work for the day. I left for the day. Work is done. I'm not... that sounded wrong. You know what I mean. Anyway, hi, how are you? Good to see you all. I want to give you just a quick update on scheduling, all that kind of stuff, because this is the last week I have that I know my schedule is going to be fairly stable, and the next week I got to be traveling again. And going back and forth. I'm still trying to figure out what that's going to look like, so I don't even really know. But I figure while I'm letting my truck warm up, so that's why you're hearing that buzzing in the background. So for those of you who are on headphones, I apologize. Hopefully it's just a nice calming hum. That's what's going on here, because it's still cold and it's going to drop back into the single digits and the negatives here in the next couple days. So we won't have the nice double digits like we're enjoying right now. But what I wanted to say was there was a comment that came through one of the forums or one of the groups I'm a part of about Skyrim, and I finished the game last night. Well, finished, I mean I finished the main quest, right? Because when we talk about Skyrim and we talk about finishing Skyrim, really you can never really finish Skyrim. You could keep playing it with all I think the Radiant quests just keep going on, do they not? And then with mods, you can just keep installing and removing and installing and removing, and you can keep your game going for a very, very long time. And of course, I'm still not to level 80 yet. Even now. So there's still that included as well. So really, there's a lot left to do, and there's a couple more last hurrahs for Katsuragi before I am going to put that game away and call it finished, at least for the time being. Although I did realize there's still some mods that are not available in Skyrim Special Edition, but we'll have to talk about those as we go forward. But anyway, so the last things for Katsuragi is we'll look for that 24-hour stream in March. I'm still looking to see when I can schedule that. And also, too, then we'll use that for Katsuragi for trying to clean up any quests we have remaining and try and just get them fully done for as far as we possibly can in a day. And then we'll put that game aside, and I will grind on that game by itself until I can get to level 80. In fact, I could probably do that now. I'm just giving Skyrim a break for a while because it's kind of a big deal to finish it after not having finished it. And that leads me to what I wanted to talk about. Somebody asked, well, if you haven't finished it in that long, why did you let it go for that long without ever killing Alduin and getting to the end of the main quest? And it comes back to the reason I started playing Skyrim to begin with a very long time ago. Well, not a very long time. It's 2011, which still really isn't that long ago. But in my previous life, I was not really an academic. I pretended I wanted to be. And so I did try to, I was working on my graduate degree in English, and then I didn't do that, so I went for my MFA instead, which is Master in Creative Writing, essentially. So I got away from a lot of the paper writing and the essays, but I still had an interest in it, and specifically how it related to video games. And one of the call for papers once upon a time called for video games that approach wildness or wilderness. The idea of open spaces and frontiers and your horizon is your guide kind of thing. And I had never played Skyrim at that point. And I was thinking of Minecraft specifically for writing the paper about it. And then a friend of mine mentioned, well, no, you're talking about Skyrim. That's what you want to play. And I, what? Because it was Elder Scrolls. It was the most recent one. And that seemed really big. And it seemed kind of long. A lot of stuff that goes along with it, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to get involved with the Elder Scrolls stuff, like Morrowind and Oblivion. It seemed to be just, a big fan base that I wasn't ready to get into, a little bit intimidating. But I did, and I actually started watching a Let's Play by Jesse Cox, who's actually moved over to Twitch now, quite a bit. And he's a lot of fun to watch. If you've never watched him, you should watch his Skyrim Let's Play, because that got me into playing Skyrim. And he didn't play it for that long, he didn't play it all the way through, but he played far enough into it to get me interested. And so when I started playing Skyrim, I started playing it to find and see if it could fit that definition of wildness. And it did. And I think one of the things why we keep watching it and playing it, and the reason why I watch it and play it and watch other people play it, is because it never ever turns out the way you think it's going to. And it's so openly expansive and so random that it does give you that sense of wilderness, of going into the frontier. Every time you start a new game, you don't know how it's going to start. You're like, okay, it's always like, well, if I can get this first and then go to there, then maybe I can go to here and then jump over, and then maybe I'll do this first, or maybe I'll just whatever. And I remember the first time playing Skyrim, I probably told this story before, is I finished the cart ride. I finished going after Rayloff. And after I got out of there, since he didn't make a big point about following him, I went left and just kept on going. And that's why I never finished the game for so long, and why I didn't really care. And why I made a point of it this time, because we did have Special Edition released. And that's where the Let's Play came from. The Let's Play of Skyrim Modded. Which that'll be what the end of it will be. It will be Skyrim Modded, and that will be my Skyrim Let's Play. The first one, and the definitive one for me, because it's a big deal to do a Skyrim Let's Play from start to finish. It's a lot of stuff. And the reason I had to do it, I had to finish the game this time, was because of Skyrim Special Edition. And once it gets to the point where it's leaving old Skyrim in the dust, no one's going to go back to Skyrim, for the original 32-bit edition. Or if they do, it's the same reason they go back to Morrowind, is because it's done, it's old. But Skyrim still has a lot of punch to it, and that's, I think, why Skyrim Special Edition made so much sense. But anyway, I'm going, we could argue this back and forth and go whichever way you want with it, but the mods will go one way or the other, you know that. I mean, modders will go to whatever is being currently developed, and if Skyrim 32-bit isn't really there, or if it's too much of a pain in the ass to develop for, why would you? But maybe people still will. We'll see how it goes. But I definitely do see those mods that are done on Skyrim 32-bit, and no one's going to play those mods anymore. Well, you can't necessarily get them to just work out of the box with Skyrim Special Edition, so there's some that will eventually just not be used. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to see new stuff on Skyrim Special Edition, and there's stuff there that's not going to go back, and what have you. So I wanted to do that before moving on. And with most games, I wouldn't do that. Skyrim, I had to do that, because Skyrim means that much to me. So, that said, where we're at right now is I was able to get Mod Organizer 2 downloaded from the Nexus and up and running, and I installed my first mod. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's not Indigo. Indigo's a given. Indigo's going to be installed as a given. But it's one of the mods I want to use for my character. We'll see if this actually comes to be. And then I installed SKSE 64-bit, and it worked. And then I installed Sky UI, and it came up. So we're in the running, and that made me really happy. So I did that over my lunch break. So I'm not done with Skyrim, but it'll be a while. So I'm going to use the month of February to build a mod list, and I'll probably start releasing that here and there. So if you wanted to see what mods I'm including, or if you have any you definitely want me to have, let me know. If they're survival-based mods, I am going to use my discretion, and if they're combat-based mods, again, I will use my discretion. Because this character I'm going to play differently, so it's not going to be just as much of a melee character as Katsuragi was, but we'll see. Maybe I'll end up doing that anyway. Sky's the limit. So, what we've got in the schedule for this week is I will not be streaming tonight. I decided to take the night off because I want to watch Afro, and I haven't had a chance to watch him. And if you haven't watched him, you should. Because he'll be streaming. I thought he was going to stream Monster Hunter, but now I just saw a message that he might not be, but we'll see. And then on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday I'll be playing Hand of Fate, and I might stream Sunday, we'll see. But then next week we'll see how the schedule goes, and I'll let you know what availability I have. And then March, if I can get a steady schedule, and that all depends on how it all goes from work, hopefully I can get a steady schedule, then we'll see me streaming on a regular basis again, because the play will be done, and we can start getting back with that. So that's it. So I just wanted to kind of give that explanation. I don't know if anybody cares, but you might find that food for thought. But that kind of answers the question of why would nobody ever finish Skyrim? Why would you just grind the main quest and go all the way through? Well, because if you're not playing the game for that, if you're playing the game for the escape, for the wilderness, to be in a virtual world that is different, it's frontier, it's open, it's not built up and in its ruts and habits and those sorts of things. If you're using it for that sort of idea of wildness, then you're going to go left the instant you leave that cave once you get out from Helgen. And just keep on going. See what happens. You can do that. It's fun. All right. Well, follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with what my schedule will be like, if you want to make sure you can catch me whenever I'm on. And of course, if you want to follow me on Twitch, that's the easiest way to make sure you can get those notifications. And of course, then you make sure you can see me live when I'm live. But of course, I also keep posting them all over to YouTube. So you will see probably tomorrow, if not late tonight. If you haven't had a chance to see the ending of the Skyrim modded series, it did happen last night. Unexpectedly, I wasn't ready for it. So we'll see the next two after this will be more of an epilogue. But yeah, if you want to see the fight with Alduin, you'll see that in last night's episode. And if you watch it on Twitch, you'll get to see the chat too, because you may see a lot of familiar faces in it, because a lot of people turned out for it that I wasn't expecting. It was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming along as always. Thank you so much for the subscriptions on YouTube. Thank you so much for the follows on Twitch and all the follows on Twitter as well. And we will see you all in the next stream. So you guys take it easy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.